My girlfriend said, "You're too dependent on me. It's exhausting being your everything." I replied, "I'll work on that." Then I became independent enough to plan a life that didn't include her. Her texts asking why I stopped needing her were sent from my old apartment she couldn't afford a loan. Original post, 29 male, been with Jenna, 27, for 3 years. Living together for the last 18 months in a decent 2-bedroom apartment. Looking back, yeah, I was probably too dependent on her emotionally. Lost my job during COVID, dealt with some depression, leaned on her pretty hard. She was my social life, my therapist, my entertainment committee. Not healthy, I know that now. 6 weeks ago, we're sitting on the couch after dinner. She turns to me with this serious expression. "Brian, we need to talk." Never good. "You're too dependent on me," she said. "It's exhausting being your everything. Your only friend, your only source of happiness, your entire support system. I need you to have your own life." It stung, but she wasn't wrong. "What are you saying?" I asked. "I'm saying you need to develop some independence. Make friends, get hobbies, stop texting me every hour when I'm at work, stop getting upset when I want a girls' night, build a life outside of us." "Or what?" she sighed. "Or this relationship isn't going to work. I feel suffocated." I sat there for a minute, processing. Part of me wanted to argue, get defensive, but the logical part knew she had a point. "Okay," I said. "I'll work on that." She looked surprised. "Really?" "Yeah, you're right. I've been using you as a crutch. That's not fair to either of us." She smiled, kissed me. "I knew you'd understand. This will be good for us." The next morning I started making changes. Update 1. First thing I did was actually listen to what Jenna had been telling me for months. Got back in touch with my old college buddy, Trevor. We started hitting the gym together 3 mornings a week. Joined a recreational basketball league that played Thursday nights. Downloaded Meetup and found a board game group that met Saturdays. Cut my texts to Jenna during work from like 20 a day to maybe 2 to 3. Stopped asking her to plan our weekends. When she had girls' nights on Fridays, instead of sulking at home, I'd go out with Trevor or the guys from basketball. Week 2, I enrolled in an online certification course for project management. Something I'd been talking about for years but never actually did. Started dedicating 2 hours every evening to studying. Jenna seemed thrilled at first. "Look at you," she said after I told her about the basketball league. "This is exactly what I meant. I'm proud of you." Week 3, started therapy. Found a guy who specialized in codependency issues. Insurance covered most of it. Went every Wednesday after work, didn't even tell Jenna initially. Figured my mental health was my business. Week 4, something interesting happened. Jenna came home from her Friday girls' night early. I wasn't there, was at Trevor's place playing poker with some guys. She texted, "Where are you?" "Trevor's, poker night." "Oh, when will you be home?" "Late probably. Don't wait up." "Okay." Got home around 1 a.m. She was still awake, watching Netflix. "How was poker?" she asked. "Good, won $40. "You didn't tell me you were playing poker tonight." "You were at girls' night, figured I'd make my own plans." She looked annoyed, confused, hard to tell. "You could have mentioned it." "I'm being independent, isn't that what you wanted?" "Yeah, of course, just communication is still important." Noted. But here's the thing, as I built my own life, I started seeing our relationship differently. Started noticing things. Update 2 week 5 was when the mask started slipping. See, while I was becoming more independent, I was also becoming more observant. When you're not desperately clinging to someone, you actually see them more clearly. Jenna's girls' nights were interesting. She'd leave around 7 p.m. dressed to kill. Come back anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. Sometimes smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. When I was needy and insecure, I'd never questioned it because I didn't want to seem controlling. But now, with my own life and confidence building, things looked different. Her phone was constantly blowing up with texts she'd angle away from me. She'd take calls in the bathroom. And there was this new coworker, Garrett, whose name came up a lot. Garrett said the funniest thing today. Garrett thinks I should apply for the senior position. Garrett's going through a divorce, poor guy. My therapy sessions were helping me recognize patterns. Dr. Coleman called it seeing the forest for the trees. Thursday night after basketball, one of the guys, Jerome, invited everyone to his birthday party that Saturday. "It's at this bar downtown. Bring your girl if you want." I mentioned it to Jenna Friday morning. Jerome's birthday is tomorrow. Want to come with me? She hesitated. Tomorrow? I actually have plans. What plans? Just stuff with the girls. Girls' night is Friday. This is Saturday. We're doing something Saturday too. Okay, no problem. But it was a problem, because I developed enough independence to recognize BS when I heard it. Old Brian would have begged her to cancel, to choose him. New Brian? New Brian had different plans. Saturday afternoon, I'm getting ready for Jerome's party. Jenna's in the bedroom, also getting ready for her mysterious plans. What are you and the girls doing tonight? I asked casually. Oh, probably just dinner and drinks. Where at? Not sure yet. Kelly's picking the place. Cool. Have fun. She left around 6. I left at 6:30. Jerome's party was at this place called Rudy's Bar. Good crowd, about 20 people. I'm actually having a great time. Played pool, told stories, felt like a normal person with actual friends. Around 9 p.m., Jerome's girlfriend shows up with some of her friends. They grab a big table in the back corner. I'm at the bar getting another beer when I glance over. And there's Jenna, at the table, with Garrett. Not with the girls. With Garrett, his arm around her shoulder, her laughing at something he's saying, their faces way too close. I stood there for maybe 10 seconds, processing. Then I took out my phone, snapped a quick photo, and went back to playing pool. Didn't confront her, didn't make a scene, just enjoyed the rest of my night. Got home around midnight. Jenna wasn't back yet. I packed a bag, grabbed my laptop and important documents, and crashed at Trevor's place. She didn't notice I was gone until Sunday afternoon. Update 3 Sunday, 2 p.m. My phone explodes. Where are you? Why isn't your car here? Brian, answer me. This isn't funny. I'm worried, please call me. I waited an hour, then texted back. Staying with Trevor for a bit, need some space to think. Phone immediately rings. I don't answer. Space to think about what? I sent her the photo from the bar. Her and Garrett, cozy as can be. Radio silence for about 20 minutes. Then, it's not what it looks like. We ran into each other. The girls were there too. They just went to the bathroom. You're overreacting? Come home so we can talk. I replied, I'm good. Developing my independence, like you wanted. Monday, I took a sick day from work, called the apartment complex office, explained I needed to be removed from the lease due to relationship issues. They said both parties had to agree, or I'd have to wait until renewal in 4 months. The rent was $1,800 a month. I'd been paying $1,200, Jenna paid $600. Why the split? Because I made more money, and when we moved in, she cried about how tight her finances were. Codependent Brian had wanted to be the hero. I texted Jenna, I'll keep paying my portion of rent through the end of the lease, 4 months. After that, you'll need to renew on your own, or find a new place. Her response was immediate. You can't just leave. We need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. You wanted me to be independent. I am. Independent people don't stay with cheaters. I didn't cheat. Sure. She tried calling 18 times. I blocked her number. Tuesday, she showed up at my work. Security wouldn't let her in without an employee badge. She waited in the parking lot. I went out the back exit and had Trevor pick me up. Wednesday was therapy. How are you feeling about all this? Dr. Coleman asked. Weirdly, good. Like it hurts, but I also feel free. Like I've been wearing shoes that were too small and finally took them off. That's a healthy response. You're recognizing that the relationship dynamic was restrictive. She wanted me to be independent but still under her control. Independent enough that she didn't have to deal with my needs, but not so independent that I'd leave. Bingo. Update 4 Thursday, Jenna enlisted her friends. Kelly called me. Brian, what the hell? Jenna's devastated. She made one mistake and you just abandon her? One mistake? Kelly, how many girls' nights has she had in the past 2 months? I don't know, like 4 or 5. Try 12. And how many of those were you actually at? Long pause. A few. Right, so where was she the other times? I don't know. I do. Thanks for confirming it though. Brian, she loves you? No, she loves having control. There's a difference. Friday, I found an efficiency apartment. $900 a month, month-to-month lease, available immediately. Not fancy, but mine. Signed the lease that afternoon. Saturday, I went to the apartment while Jenna was at work. Packed all my stuff. Took only what was mine. My TV, my gaming console, my kitchen stuff I'd bought, my furniture from before we moved in together. Left everything we'd bought together. Also left a check for the next 4 months' rent, $4,800, and a note. Jenna, as promised, here's my portion of rent through the lease term. The apartment is yours to do with as you please. I've removed myself from all shared accounts and subscriptions. Good luck with your independence. Sunday morning, Trevor helped me move into my new place. Took 3 trips in his truck. By noon, I was officially moved out. Sunday afternoon, Jenna discovered I'd moved out. The text came through my email since she was blocked on phone. You can't just leave without talking to me. This is insane. You're throwing away 3 years over a misunderstanding. I can't afford this place alone. You're being cruel and vindictive. Garrett means nothing. Please come back, we can work this out. You've changed into someone I don't recognize. That last one made me laugh. Yeah, I had changed into someone who didn't tolerate BS. Update 5 Monday morning, the smear campaign started. Mutual friends began reaching out. Apparently, Jenna's version was that I'd become controlling and paranoid, that I'd stalked her to the bar, that I was punishing her for asking for reasonable boundaries. I had a simple response for everyone. She told me to be independent. I became independent. Independent people don't stay with cheaters. If she wants to tell a different story, that's her choice. Most people backed off after that. A few pushed. But you didn't even let her explain. Explain what? How she accidentally fell onto Garrett's arm? How the girls accidentally disappeared? How she accidentally lied about where she was going? Tuesday, Jenna's mom called. Patricia. We'd always gotten along well. Brian, sweetheart, what happened? Jenna's beside herself. Hi, Patricia. What did Jenna tell you? That you left her without warning, that you're being unreasonable. Did she mention she was cheating with her coworker? Silence. No, she didn't mention that. Ask her about Garrett. Ask her about all those girls' nights. Then call me back if you want. She never called back. Wednesday was therapy again. The apartment thing might have been a bit nuclear. Dr. Coleman said, maybe, but I paid my obligation. 4 months gives her time to figure it out. I'm not responsible for her inability to afford a place she chose knowing she couldn't pay for it alone. Fair point. How's the new place? Small, quiet, perfect. Thursday, basketball. The guys had heard through the grapevine about the breakup. You good, man? Jerome asked. Better than I've been in years. For what it's worth, when I saw her at the bar with that dude, I knew that wasn't right. You saw it too? Bro, everyone saw it. She wasn't subtle. That stung a bit, but also validated my decision. Friday, 2 weeks since the bar incident. I get an email from Jenna. Brian, I know you've blocked me everywhere else, so I'm trying email. I messed up. I know that. Garrett and I, it was stupid. It meant nothing. He was giving me attention when I felt like you were pulling away. You changed so fast. One day you needed me for everything. The next you barely talked to me. I felt rejected, unwanted. So when Garrett showed interest, I was weak. I can't afford this apartment. My credit is shot, so I can't get approved for anywhere else. I'll have to move back with my parents at 27. Do you understand how humiliating that is? Please. Can we talk? Just once. I love you. The real you, not this cold person you've become. Jen, I didn't respond. Update 6, week 3 post-breakup. I'm settling into my new life. Gym with Trevor, work, studying for certification, therapy, basketball, poker nights. Life had rhythm. Life had meaning beyond one person. Then Monday happened. I'm at work when my boss, Howard, calls me into his office. Brian, we need to talk about something delicate. My stomach dropped. We received a call from someone claiming to be concerned about your mental state. They suggested you might be having some kind of breakdown, that you've been acting erratically. Let me guess, anonymous concerned citizen? Actually, no. A woman named Jenna Rodriguez says she's your girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend. And this is her trying to mess with my job because I left her. Howard leaned back. I figured it might be something like that. Your work's been fine. Actually better lately. Just wanted to make you aware. Thanks, Howard. I appreciate it. Maybe document this stuff, though, in case it escalates. Good advice. I started keeping records of everything. Tuesday, Jenna tried a different approach. Posted on social media about when someone you love changes overnight, and narcissistic behavior after breakups, and financial abuse in relationships. That last one pissed me off. I was paying $1,200 a month for an apartment I didn't live in. How was I the financial abuser? Several people called her out in the comments. Didn't he pay most of your rent? Girl, you cheated though. This is messy. Delete this. She deleted it within hours. Wednesday, got a text from an unknown number. Hey, this is Garrett. Man to man, can we talk? I screenshot it and didn't respond. Thursday, another unknown number. Brian, it's Jenna. Using a friend's phone, I'm desperate. I got an eviction notice. I thought you paid the rent? I had paid, but I paid my portion, not hers. She apparently hadn't paid her $600. I didn't respond, but I did forward the screenshot to my lawyer friend, just in case. Friday afternoon, property management called me. Mr. Turner, this is regarding Unit 4B. Miss Rodriguez hasn't paid her portion of rent and is facing eviction. She said you were supposed to pay it? I paid my portion of $1,200 as agreed. I even prepaid through the lease term. Her $600 obligation is hers. I see. Well, she's claiming financial hardship and saying you abandoned her. I gave her 4 months' notice and paid my legal obligation. I have the canceled check and receipt. Would you like copies? That would be helpful, yes. Sent them everything. CYA, cover your ass. Best policy. Update 7 Saturday morning, 7 a.m., banging on my door. Look through the peephole. It's Jenna, looking rough. Hair messy, eyes red, yesterday's clothes. Brian, I know you're in there. Open up. I didn't move. Please, I'm gonna be homeless. You did this. You ruined my life. My neighbor poked his head out. Everything okay? No. Jenna screamed. He destroyed my life and won't even talk to me. Ma'am, I'm calling the police if you don't leave. Call them. Maybe they'll make him talk to me. They did call. Cops showed up, asked her to leave. She tried to explain that I'd financially abandoned her. The cop looked unimpressed. Ma'am, does he live here? No, but... Then you need to leave or we'll arrest you for trespassing. She left, but not before screaming, You're a monster, Brian. I hope you're happy. I was, actually. Happier than I'd been in years. Sunday, I get a call from Patricia, Jenna's mom. Brian, Jenna's moving back home. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? You did this to her. No, Patricia. She did this to herself. She wanted me to be independent. I became independent. She cheated. I left, 'cause meat effect. She says you manipulated the situation, set her up to fail. I paid my rent for 4 months in advance. That's more than legally required. Her inability to pay $600 a month is not my manipulation. You make 3 times what she makes, which is why I was paying twice the rent. But that arrangement was based on being in a relationship. No subsidy. You're heartless. I'm practical. There's a difference. Monday, a mutual friend, Angela, reached out. Hey B, heard about everything. Jenna's telling everyone you planned this, that you became independent specifically to leave her. That's giving me too much credit. I became independent because she demanded it. Leaving her was just a fortunate side effect of seeing clearly. She's also saying Garrett meant nothing. Meant nothing, yet worth risking everything for? Make that make sense. Fair point. Oh, and just so you know, this wasn't her first time. What? Last year, when you were going through that depression? She hooked up with someone from her gym, told me and swore me to secrecy. I should have told you. I'm sorry. Wow. Just wow. Update 8 Tuesday, Jenna moved out of our old apartment. I know because the property manager called to schedule the walkthrough inspection. Mr. Turner, we'll need you present for the final inspection since you're still on the lease. When? Thursday at 2 p.m. I'll be there. Wednesday therapy was productive. How do you feel about seeing the apartment again? Dr. Coleman asked. Nostalgic maybe, but not sad. It's like looking at old photos of yourself in terrible fashion choices. You remember the time, but you're glad you've moved on. That's very healthy. You're processing well. Thursday 2 p.m. I show up at the old apartment. Jenna's there with Garrett. Of course he's there. He's probably her new meal ticket. She looks tired, lost weight. Garrett looks uncomfortable. Brian, she says quietly. I nod. Don't say anything. The property manager walks through, checking everything. The place is mostly empty but clean. Looks good. Mr. Turner, your security deposit will be mailed to your forwarding address. Ms. Rodriguez, since you're behind on rent, your portion will go toward the owed balance. What? That's not fair. It's standard procedure, ma'am. Outside, Jenna corners me. Happy now? You got everything you wanted. I wanted a faithful girlfriend. Didn't get that. I wanted a boyfriend who didn't need me to breathe for him. And you got one, just too late to matter. Garrett steps forward. Hey man, for what it's worth nothing. You knew she was in a relationship. You pursued her anyway. You're trash, and she's trash for going along with it. Enjoy each other. I walked away. Felt like a movie scene, honestly. Friday, I passed my project management certification exam. First try. Posted about it on LinkedIn, not social media. Professional wins only. Got a text from an unknown number that night. Congrats on the certification. I always knew you were capable of more. Deleted it. Changed my number the next day. Final update. It's been 3 months since I left Jenna. Figured I'd give one last update. I got promoted at work. The certification helped, but Howard said it was more about my improved performance and focus. 20% raise, better title, actual career trajectory. Still living in my efficiency apartment. Could afford better now, but I'm saving money. Might buy a small condo next year. Trevor and I are tight. Basketball league started a new season. We're currently 6-2. Poker night is a regular thing. Made actual friends. Have an actual life. Therapy is down to twice a month. Dr. Coleman says I've made remarkable progress in establishing healthy boundaries and self-sufficiency. Ran into Angela at a coffee shop last week. She filled me in on Jenna. Living with her parents, still with Garrett, who apparently also lives with his parents now. Working the same job, but had to take a second job waitressing. Tells everyone I financially abused her. Posts vague motivational quotes about surviving narcissistic relationships. She's miserable, Angela said. Garrett's not you, he's broke, lazy, and she constantly complains about him not taking care of things like you did. Not my circus, not my monkeys. She asked me to ask you if you'd consider talking to her. No, that's what I told her you'd say. The truth is, I don't hate Jenna. I nothing her. She's a lesson learned, a chapter closed, a bullet dodged. She wanted me to be independent, but still dependent on her. Independent enough that she didn't have to meet my emotional needs, but dependent enough that I'd never leave. She wanted to have her cake, me paying most of the bills and being devoted, and eat it too. Hooking up with whoever gave her tingles. When I actually became independent, financially, emotionally, socially, I didn't need her anymore. And when you don't need someone, you can see them clearly. What I saw wasn't worth staying for. Her last email came yesterday. Brian, it's been 3 months. I've had time to think. You were right to leave. I was selfish, dishonest, and took you for granted. But you were also cruel. You became someone cold and calculating. You planned your exit perfectly, left me to drown, and walked away without looking back. We both failed each other. I'm with Garrett now, but it's not the same. He's not you. He doesn't handle things like you did. Doesn't care like you did. I guess be careful what you wish for, right? I don't expect a response. Just wanted you to know that making you independent was the biggest mistake of my life. I created the person who could leave me. The irony isn't lost on me. I hope you're happy. I mean that. Jenna, I didn't respond. There was nothing to say, but I am happy. Genuinely happy. Not the fake happiness of trying to make a bad relationship work. Not the desperate happiness of needing someone else to complete me. Real happiness. Independent happiness. She was right about one thing. She did create the person who could leave her. She demanded I become independent, thinking it would make her life easier. Instead, it opened my eyes. So thanks, Jenna. You gave me the push I needed to become who I was meant to be. Someone who doesn't need you. Someone who can spot red flags. Someone who values himself enough to walk away. Your texts asking why I stopped needing you. They came from my old apartment you couldn't afford alone. And that's poetic justice, if I've ever seen it. I'm done with this chapter. Time to write new ones. Peace out, Reddit. Thanks for following along.